Ciao comrades, welcome, pleasure. Today I have here this cheap phone and I'm doing some emulation and gaming on it. Spoiler alert, it was actually decent, much better than I thought it would be. I was able to run some fun games. Looks like emulation on a budget phones is really improving. Or maybe I've just been playing with the Vita for too long and even this cheap phone can surprise me with this kind of performance. So let's get into it. So this is the C62 Pro by Aukitel. Here are some quick specifications: 4G, RAM, storage, battery and screen. Inside the box there is phone itself, charger with the cable. This is a 10-watt charger, SIM ejector tool, manual and some other paperwork. What I really like about these cheaper phones that they always include the charger as well as the free basic case, and there is even a basic plastic screen protector installed. Thumbs up for that. So this is the phone. The size is really large. Here is my Galaxy S24 for comparison. It's really huge. It's taller as well as wider. I don't really like these huge phones, therefore I'm still using my S23. From the right side there is power button and volume. From the left side there is a slot for micro SD as well as for SIM card. Nothing from the top, and from the bottom microphone, USB-C and speaker. And from the rear side there are cameras and the fancy display. The small display can be used for showing the time, controlling music, play, pause and going forward, backwards. And the only useful thing I think is to use it as a camera. So if you want to make a selfie, you're gonna see yourself and you can make a picture with a good sensor instead of with a weak one. And then you can also see notifications. Now quickly check the specifications. It has 6.88 inches large display with a resolution 1640 by 720. Battery size is 5100 mAh. It's running Android 15. There is 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of expandable storage, and this is the CPU Unisoc Tiger T7250, 8 core, 12 nanometers. On the box it says it's using Unisoc T615, and when I was googling about this one it was showing it's like the refresh of this model, so they are not lying. This chip is nothing special, it's not really powerful, but I was still surprised by the performance it provided. I was testing the camera and it's not really good. It is below average in my opinion. Here you can nicely see also the bezels. They are quite small. There is just one mono speaker and it's decent, it's not terrible. This is the max volume and it's firing downwards. Now let's get into gaming. I was using this very cheap Gamesir mobile controller for playing all of the games. Well, for majority. I had some issues with certain emulator, but I'll get to it later. I've started with DS Emulation. I've only tested like 3 games, all of them were running at full speed, no surprises here. DS is not as hard for emulation. Even these very cheap retro handhelds can do it, and they only cost like 50 American dollars. Then I moved to 3DS Emulation via Citra. Also just reminding, I've installed all the emulators myself and I've also provided the game files. It doesn't come pre-installed, it's a phone. But still all of this is very easy to do even for a beginner. So 3DS was not running at full speed, but last time I've tried 3DS on a similar chip, it was running much worse. And now, I mean, just look at it. Super Mario 3D Land, yeah, there were some stutters here and there, but it wasn't terrible at all. It was actually okay, I would be able to play it like this. Same with Legend of Zelda, Link Between the Worlds, it was playable, more or less. There was a big slowdown, then it was running at full speed for a minute, then it took a bit longer when I moved to different part of the map or inside the house, but overall not bad. Last time I remember playing Super Mario 3D Land on a bit stronger chip and it was running like t-t-t-t-t. Chibi Robo Ziplash, same thing, here and there some stutter, but not bad at all. This kind of long display also seemed about okay for 2 screens to be displayed next to each other, one big one next to the small one. Then I moved to Dreamcast. Every game I tried was running at full speed. Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2, again no surprises in here. DreamCast is not as hard to emulate. I was also using the super wide option on Sonic Adventure 1 and the game was covering the whole display. But this feature doesn't support all games. I've been trying also my favorite Soldier of Fortune. It was playable, but I could see some graphical anomalies here and there. I thought it was because of the wide screen, so I've changed it to 4:3, but it didn't help. I haven't investigated this issue properly, but the 4:3 ratio games are not really good for this kind of long display. This one has 20:9 ratio and there are big black bars next to it if you're playing 4:3 games. PSP games are in 16:9 ratio, so black bars are a bit smaller. God of War was running at full speed at 2x of original resolution. I can always enjoy good hack and slashing, and I can always enjoy a good racing. And Burnout Dominator at 2x of original resolution enabled me to do it. With Dante's Inferno I had to go down to 1x because there were regular slowdowns and I prefer to rather decrease the resolution than to turn on frame skip. I don't like it. I'm avoiding it as much as I can. I had some more good racing with Split Second and I finished my session off with Third Birthday. PSP Emulation can nowadays run on almost everything, but what's really important, at least for me, is the ability to upscale it. PSP games run originally at 480 by 272. It's quite low resolution and when you put it on a 7-inch screen it's quite blurry. So ideally you wanna play it at least at 2x of original resolutions on these larger screens. Then I've pushed it even further. GameCube emulation with Dolphin MMGR2. Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess was running okay, but here came the problems with the controller. It connects via USB-C and the USB-C is on the left side of the controller, so it's on the opposite side like on the majority of other mobile controllers. The menu in Dolphin, when I was choosing the game, was displayed correctly, but then the gameplay was upside down and I couldn't find a way to turn it. All the controls were functional, but I wasn't really able to use it because it was all upside down. Wind Waker was running about okay, same as iRobot. They were not full speeds, there were some slowdowns, but not bad either. Audio in F-Zero GX was quite terrible, but the gameplay was, as you can see, much better than the audio. More demanding games would struggle a lot, like Oro Modelista. Next, PS2 Emulation. Plenty solid games were playable, like Asterix and Obelix XXL2, Destroy All Human, Devil May Cry, Incredible Hulk, but hard to emulate games were struggling, like God of War or Black. Last but not least, I've tried native Android port of Hollow Knight and there were no issues whatsoever. I always tried this one and Cuphead, but that one had same issue like the Dolphin emulator, upside down picture. Now to the price. On the AliExpress it goes for around 115 British pounds. You can use also coupon, so it's around 105 pounds. Or I was even able to find it on eBay for like 100 pounds, brand new. So let's sum it up. This phone is decent for the price they are asking. It has average CPU. The screen is very large with 720p and 90Hz refresh rate. It is not bad quality either. The size of the phone is also very large. This can be pro or con, depends how you look at it. The battery is large as well, but I feel like it was draining way too quickly. The small rear screen is just a gimmick in my opinion. I wouldn't find a real life use for that. Cameras are bad. Speaker is okay, albeit it's just a mono speaker. And microSD slot is always nice to have. Would I buy it? Recently I was buying phone for my dad and I've chosen Galaxy S20 5G for 67 British pounds. This is still a great phone in my opinion, and the price was excellent. It was used with small crack in the bottom corner, but it's cheaper and better in every way than the Alcatel. The only thing that's better in there is the newer Android version, but I don't really care about that one. I know it's not really fair to compare old and new phone, but in my opinion, this is the best way to buy a great cheap phone. To buy it from somebody else that was already using it. Not straight from the shop brand new. Then clearly, if you would want to buy a cheap handheld, not a phone, there are also some great options, but that's a topic for a different kind of video. If you've enjoyed this one, give it a thumbs up. Thanks to you for watching. Thanks to all of my Patreons and joiners for their support. It's greatly appreciated. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.